As an old school tabletop role playing game master, I have never been a guy who sticks to some of these old elements like, oh man, I don't like dwarves casting spells like a wizard. Even though I think it's completely stupid, I don't care. It's not that big of an issue. But there are certain elements to the game that I'm like, I don't understand this. I've learned over the years that the second you make a monster or something that has a level of intelligence that matches close to a human or is human or above human, right away it's almost like they're playable. Or every one of them can potentially be good. Like there's a level of nuance that is brought in for that thing that I look at the game and I go, is that necessary for the elements of the game that we're trying to achieve? Or is that truly just necessary for telling a story? And I start realizing some elements are brought in, I guess, from modern day Dungeons and Dragons, the WotC versions, as tools to, I guess, help for better storytelling. It's like Drow. Okay, so Drow can be good now, and they're playable. I'm like, well, it doesn't mean there's no nuance in old school, but Drow would be just evil monsters, right? That's the way they're going to be. You can take it to the bank as a player. It doesn't mean an evil character can't make a deal with you and follow through. It doesn't mean there's not elements where there's like a little bit of lawfulness to their evilness, and there's nuance there. It does exist. You can talk your way out of a fight or out of a bad situation. You can make a deal with evil characters because they might not even be true to the person they're serving. So this guy is willing to backstab the person they're serving for some cheap gimmick that you're offering them, right? They could be dumb because they're evil and uncaring, right? So there's a lot of nuance in there when you're negotiating or interacting, in dialogue with an evil character. Now, we got to look at the hobby. This is why I think it's so important we look at the games. I'm like, most people in the hobby are just average people. So the majority of your game masters and players are going to be very average people. And then you have to look at what you're expecting the average person to be able to pull off at home. And then you say to yourself, how much nuance are they going to be capable of that's even going to play into it? Like, I've always looked at elves and the way they're designed, and I'm like, that's really neat. I like the idea. But they'll be like, most people don't play elves as elves, and you'll hear this complaint all the time. I myself have complained about seeing people never play the elf character as an elf, right? But I realize it's because they're fucking average people. It's not that they don't even read it. They do, but they don't understand half the shit they're reading. So they just, they guess and they play. What that taught me early on in the tabletop role-playing game hobby, once I realized that was sort of the reason behind it, was, wow, this is an element of the game that's cool, but it's too high of an expectation. Meaning, I thought they should simplify things like elves for the sake of the game, because don't consider the fringe or the minority that are going to be super intelligent, not if you're a company trying to make money. You have to somewhat respect them as best you can, but you got to lean into the fact that the majority of your customers are not those people. And if you don't serve those people, you lose those people. Right, TSR? I think something that probably drives a lot of people away from modern gaming is they might look at a game like Baldur's Gate 3 and get turned off for reasons that would surprise WotC and the company. I look, from what I could tell, I've talked to a lot of people after playing Baldur's Gate 3 and then playing. I'm like, so could you just run that on your own? And they're like, not a chance. And it drives the average majority game master into a corner in your hobby when there's an expectation that he or she needs to now match this extremely nuanced way of telling a story. And then it's like there's some people in the 5e world that seem to want to brag about how intelligent the thing is, but I'm like, well, even though I don't agree with you whatsoever, I think it's hand-holding, to be honest. I have my critique there. If you made a game that was for the super intelligent, you'd make it for a fringe and you destroy your fucking company. There's no way. I think it's a terrible decision to take monsters like Drow and goblins and make them so nuanced that they can be good. It's not they can't be, but even the need to express that is what I say is unnecessary. We forget that this is just a game, and meaning I need the monster to just be evil. That's it. Like I'm not telling a Hollywood production story. I'm running a game, and there's no expectation. There was not in the old school an expectation that you're running a fucking movie, right? Like, you're just running a game. If something amazing happens, great, but at the end of the day, it's one step at a time game. That's it. That's what we're doing here. And hey, we always hope something great comes of it, but at the same time, we're not doing high production. Now, it doesn't mean some of us can't go in a higher production. You learn as a game master. You might game with the same players for a lot of years, and you're up for doing a lot more. That can happen. But that's not for the average person, though. Not so easily, I mean. So it becomes now the Drow can be good. Well, now the player can't assume just evil and try to work out the nuance there. Now they have to add the nuance into the Drow can be good. And I'm not saying, like, look, if you put this all into practice and telling a story like Baldur's Gate 3, I get the elements are good for storytelling. That's actually the accepted part of this video, is I accept that you could tell an interesting story with a nuanced Drow. Yeah, absolutely you can. Right? But that's not what we're doing here. So that's because we're only borrowing elements, there's a limit to what we need to borrow. And the problem with making humanoid monsters potentially good means right away they become playable. And I think one of the things that made Drow famous was the fact that really they weren't. And even when the company attempted to sort of push Drow to be playable, DMs just wouldn't go along with it. But I think that mysterious element to Drow is what made Drow famous. And by making them potentially good and then making them playable, you take this mysterious side away. And I mean, here, play Baldur's Gate 3 with a Drow, and you might be thinking, I'll go in and play some unique dialogue. No, you just go in and, like, some people are confused. Aren't you the bad guy? No? Okay. All right, whatever. That's it. That's the extra reaction you get from most people. Like, it's all the same dialogue as any other character, except for the person like, wait, the fucking Drow are back. We gotta fight. No, it's just, I'm not that kind of Drow. Oh, okay, everybody calm down. That's the difference with the game, so I'm sorry if I spoiled that. But yeah, I don't know. I think some mystery, the mysteriousness of Drow. This would be great if they made a 6th edition where they said, okay, Drow are no longer playable. And we will no longer them issue as potentially good. We're just going to go back to the idea that they're evil. Oh my fuck, right? I heard 6th edition was supposed to be something they're working on. There's all these rumors. It's supposed to be a new advanced something or something or something or something. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be commercial. It's going to be to sell to you. And even if they think about taking a risk, here's the problem. They get chicken shit. So I don't trust WotC. They'll get chicken shit about ideas because they want guarantees. So where they'll experiment, it's not even where they normally would. So even when they do that, the propaganda shit, they still put other guarantees in. Like, there's guaranteed stuff that needs to be done even by that team that might not even be favored by them, but they know from the market it's money, right? So, yeah, there you go. Okay, so I would love to see Drow go back to being evil, but I just got to warn people that are going to game with me doing 2nd edition D&D. Drow are evil. They're not chaotic evil. You can deal with them. And there's nuance there, but they're evil. Goblins are evil. Hobgoblins are evil. Ogres are stupid and evil. All the typical shit is still the typical shit. And there's a lot of nuance even in that typical shit. Okay. I love you.